One way of checking this is I have my little way of figuring out how, if there's any sound, I have a way of figuring that out. So let's just control that first. I found a way I can do that. Basically by, so I guess it's time for doing a live with INFP with Tom. And if you don't mind, I'm just having a little background music here. Hello, Anna Baldwin. Welcome to a little Friday night live stream, INFP with Tom. I got a little bit of things I'm gonna bring up today. I just got back home now, and I did not plan to make a live. I was going to actually make just a video about a few things that I would get into. But I decided I'm gonna do a live. It was a long time ago. And I'm having like a back to the 80s radio channel on now, but I think it's a little bit too loud. First off, just telling you that I'm gonna see the weather report. You know, guys, it's so damn cold right now. It's 9 degrees, which is 48 Fahrenheit, and humidity is 57%, but it feels like it's much more. And I mean, 48 degrees Fahrenheit, 9 degrees Celsius, it doesn't sound like it's very cold. I mean, if you are from like Scandinavia like me, or if you are from like Canada, or you're from Colorado or East Coast, you know, it can get colder, obviously. But the weather here, I tell you, it's like it's so humid, so it doesn't matter what you wear. You know, I wear this now, it's wool, but it's going through anyway, and it's so disgusting. And I'm cold all the time. I just was just sitting here thinking for a while ago. For like the past 6 years, also when I was living in Sweden before moving here, I've been cold every winter for like 6 years, and I just don't seem to bother too much. It's disgusting. I really dislike cold. Um, but still, I don't go and buy a heater. I just don't do it. I should do it. I mean, it's just, I'm lazy in so many ways. These things is like, I don't know if it's an INFP thing. I read an article before that the INFP can have like a stain on the wall. That sounds disgusting, by the way. But it can be like some, I don't know if you see down there, is a box here, and I used that for moving before. That's a typical INFP thing that I read actually. That we can have things laying around that should be taken care of. like a long, long, long time ago. But for some reason, it's like time goes by and it's like you don't really notice some things. And that's the same with I should actually get a heater. Yeah, Anna said it got it got a lot colder where I grew up. Yeah, so where did you grow up, Anna? Yeah, but that's some things that I like really don't bother about. But anyway, how's the week been going? It's been going really fast. I'm having literally things to do is since I go up in the morning, since I wake up, I have things to do all until late in the night. Whether it's whether it's daytime work or writing, and the writing project is coming to its end, which I'm going to share with you in the Midwest. All right, Midwest. So that's obviously going to have cold winters. You're gonna have snow. You know, when people say Midwest, I'm thinking about like Idaho. I'm thinking about Wyoming, maybe. I mean, I have a, I should, I should have a quite good sense of the states since I'm very interested in them. And I have a beautiful map of America home in my parents' home, Iowa. Yeah, let me take up a map. Okay, so it's not that far. You know, when you say Midwest, I'm thinking more towards the West Coast, but this is actually around like Chicago. So it's Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska, all those states. Yeah, it's a lot of states there. So Wyoming is probably even more west. Yeah, it is. Not much though. Montana, beautiful nature. It's like wow, so beautiful. Um, what was I saying? Yeah, I have like a few things that I've been doing that I can't really talk too much on them right now, but maybe yeah, I mean most likely later on. Um, yeah, and then I mentioned in the title here like crazy girlfriends and experiences. That sounds a little bit not so nice, but I'm gonna tell you actually about some experiences that I've had when yeah actually ever since my first girlfriend and like I believe I've been thinking like deeply on these things recently what they made because I talk a bit about relationship and I talk a bit about like try to find somebody here and you know not being really active on the dating scene in terms of modern dating when it comes to using apps makes it different, makes it a little bit more difficult. But sure, it's always up to if you really want to meet somebody to actually go to social settings, approach somebody on the street, which is that's what I sense here in this country. It's a bit you don't do that, but sure, you can do it anyway. It's nothing that say you should not do it because these things it's all up to you. Like if you get a connection with somebody that you see somewhere in a social setting or you are getting eye contact with somebody in a cafe or there's nothing wrong with it actually. But I believe it's getting, especially with the younger generations, I think it's coming off as weird, more old fashioned and more scary maybe even to some. I mean I've done that in when I was living in Lisbon. Successfully and not. But at that time, I believe I just really wanted to just try to meet somebody more, like didn't care. Uh, but anyway, my experiences, I think they have caught up with me, so to say, to make me like, in a way, maybe distance myself from really trying to meet somebody, and also make like, I don't want to say doubting myself. I mean, I'm insecure in myself in that matter in regards to that, but maybe it's some kind of blockage. And also the fact I'm not really out that much. I mean, I'm really not much out. But that aside, that's another thing, trying to meet somebody. Obviously, if I really put in the work, I probably could. But it feels kind of far away right now, to be honest. Especially where I want to go with myself and but sometimes it's hard, it's really, really, really difficult to. But damn, I mean, the reward also to learn being alone, everything that I've been through, everything that I went through. Not many people. I mean, of course, a lot of people done different things than I've done, but people don't have my story, and my story has just started. But I already have a lot of things that I've gone through, and I've done a lot of things alone. Um, but anyway, I keep ranting on, I keep rambling on. I always seem to meet someone when I trust right. It's so strange. Yes, yeah, I can agree with that. That has happened also with me. You just kind of you let that aside to focus on yourself, and I think it's better like that instead of you get into the mindset of, oh, I want to meet with somebody, I really want to try, I'm gonna make myself look more attractive, I'm gonna start doing these things and that thing and all these things, and it's like it becomes desperate. um, so yeah, I mean, right, whereas I'm back to a little bit before we get started with the experiences, where I am as now, it's, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, like not just want to have somebody for the sake of having somebody, like an asset. Um, because then I could use so many apps. And I'm not gonna lie, I have thought a lot about maybe I should. And then I read about it, and it makes me pull back my decision. Like, no way, I'm going in for that. And I talked about that in other videos. If anybody want to see that, you can go back. I talk quite a lot about my perception on apps. But what was I gonna say? Then yeah, I go back to like, yes, I want to, I want to meet somebody. I'm not that picky, but I'm also picky in a way that I want this person to be not just somebody for a short term. I just, no way. It's, I mean, if it happens and if it's a connection at that particular moment in time, things can happen. You can never say never. But as what I perceive, as what I view when it comes to meeting somebody would be for actually like more serious in that regards. But I also have an important woman in my life far away. It's like most people probably have a connection with somebody that you met when you were younger, and you still have like that connection, and for different reasons and different, I know I have not talked a lot about this on my channel because it's too personal, and it's too difficult and too, I guess, painful. But many people have that experience with somebody, for different circumstances and whatnot. It probably works, but when you're far away from each other, what can you do? I don't want to get into that more now, but okay, let's get into the things here. Yeah, I'm just gonna. I don't have a script. I'm just gonna go with the flow. Like, obviously, you had these kind of experiences when you were very young and you started to kiss a little bit, and actually, more than kissing was, in a way, if I really think about it, it was an a really early debut. What do you say? And a really early experience of mine. Uh, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure I would go so far as saying it was a complete, full act of intimacy. Interaction. I'm not sure if I could call it that, but certainly some degree of that. When it comes to sex, it's just so flexible and so fluid, but yeah, and then like going up older, I could go even more back in time, but I'm not gonna do it. It's too personal. I don't know. Yeah, and exactly. That's the bottom line of it. That's the bottom line of it. And I could make a very well detailed and interesting, probably long video on just that, because yeah, I have experience when it comes to that. But yeah, you come up to later, like 15, 16, 17. I think I got, yeah, I had like, yeah, I mean, I had girlfriends throughout my junior, could you call it junior high? Yeah, like on and off, like, but nothing that developed. Yeah, it was quite serious, obviously, but it was, when you're in that age, it's not commitment on the same degree that it becomes when you get older. Uh, but I feel like my first real relationship, also like when you really first lost your virginity and stuff and whatnot, that most probably have been like, and this is probably where I'm gonna start with the crazy girlfriend experiences. But that was probably like in high school. I think that first girlfriend that I would call my first girlfriend was when I was 17 or 18. Well, probably 17 and 18. Yeah, I had to think. I graduated. Yeah, 17, 18, 19, something like that. And yeah, that age, obviously, there was, I have to think, together maybe 6 months. I remember it was a summer into the fall, or maybe that we started earlier actually. It started spring, summer. I graduated high school into the autumn, into the winter. So maybe like, let's say 7 to 9 months, and obviously great in the beginning, like really that young and so in love. But I'm gonna get into these things that, like, kind of, and this is just the first one. Be aware of that. Remember that. That I think I have experienced that have, like I told you earlier. It caught up with me now later when I think of it. Of course, I don't go walk around feeling bad what she did to me and whatnot now. But I think these different experiences have there's some kind of wound in me, but not for the sake that I'm walking around thinking bad about these people, or thinking about that every day. It's not like that. I'm just trying to remember it now. Let's do that. To see where we get with this. Um, yeah, there was started to become more bad. Obviously, it always does, and um, yeah, also like a sign when the girl is not interested, she just don't want to. She stop. Maybe she stopped being attracted to you. She don't want to be intimate with you, and I just remember that she just started to talk with some other guy, and I think he was maybe 1 or 2 years older than me. Um, and I don't remember too much in details here, but we kind of broke up. We went back one time together, and then she just going out partying more, and I remember one time she wanted me to drive her somewhere, and it apparently turned out to be to that guy's home or his parents' home or something, which now afterwards is just like, what the heck was she gonna do there, right? It makes me feel disgusted when I'm thinking about it. Not the fact what she were doing with him, not about that, but the way somebody is using somebody that are emotionally invested into you, and you use that person um, for your own benefits. It's basically that's what I'm saying is I feel disgusted of. Not the fact if she felt less attractive, she stopped having feelings for me, or she stopped having attraction for me or whatnot. Not, I couldn't care less. It's not that, it's just that what you're doing to another person that is emotionally invested in you instead of like keeping it clear. But young and fucking bad. And I should say, and I'm not saying that as something mean. If somebody of you would feel, this is my channel, I'm saying whatever F I want. But yeah, she did not have a father figure in her life, and you can say whatever you want about that. But I have noticed from my personal experiences a trend, but a trend between these women that I've had relationships with that had no father figure in their life. So I mean, that's my experience, and nobody can take my experiences away from me. Anyway, I went after that. Yeah, I mean, there was another before her. It was another girl there that everything was just great with her also in the beginning. I could actually have had, she could actually have been, we could actually have been intimate for the first time with me, but it didn't happen. Um, it was very close, but yeah, I just went slow there, and then for some reason she broke up with me. I think I went to America that summer and for traveling, and either before or after, I believe it was right before, she just called me and was crying in the phone and tried to get me back. And I'm so happy that I stood up for myself and not going back. Considering everything I've done for so many women, I it surprised me that I didn't go back because I've been kind of, some would consider it as a nice guy, and some guys making fun of that and whatnot. But maybe I have been. I mean, I've been too nice in my previous experiences, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. They're all these ridiculous articles, channels, and whatnot that you don't want to be the nice guy, blah blah blah. And I get what it means. You cannot be there all the time, especially when you are first meeting with somebody. How boring isn't that you're always available? Like you make your world around this person. You cannot just do that. And I believe I have not done that to that degree before. But yeah, I know one other experience actually before this. This is in probably in eighth grade or ninth grade, and this is the girl that was in my class that also super strange girl now when I think about it. But anyway, we really beautiful. I really liked her, and we started to hang out a little bit. I followed her home after school sometime, and developed an interest. But she was kind of, I don't know what you call it, but her mind was just shifting, and probably she had so many options and just used me a little bit and then someone else. I think we never even kissed, but anyway, I liked her. I bought her a gift that I put in her locker somehow. And I just remember one time that I stood out with my friends outside in like outside of the in outside area in the school I went to, and she I just see she coming out with a package and just throwing it on me like that, and yeah, it didn't feel nice. She did not even open it, you know, and it was like a birthday gift or something. But I don't know. Maybe there's actually even something more earlier than that. But now I'm going back, way back. You know, now I'm in eighth grade. Now we are like, what age are we? Are 14. But yeah, that's so young. But then, anyway, fast forward. After that first girlfriend experience, where I just drove her to that other guy's home, parent home, and just she dressing up really nice and just start to use me, and yeah, I totally agree, Anna. It's like bugs me also making manipulative things. It's not nice, but what can we say? People are people are manipulative, and that's disgusting. And I'm trying. I'm pretty good to detect that by now, and I'm like I'm not interested in. That's what a lot of things gets down to quite early in this culture when you're trying to date in today's day and age. It becomes this kind of mind game. Who is gonna get fucked up? Who are gonna win? You know, and that I really don't understand. I really don't like it. I try to play cards just like open. And sure, if you want to have a little play, there gotta be a little play there, you know, first, for sure. But not in some kind of manipulative way of making you feel like and doing some stupid psychological testing. And yeah, I had one girl that comes to mind now that done a lot of tests. Is just insane things. And another one also actually. But yeah, I will get to that. Yeah, not be taken advantage for being nice. That's like you give them the hand and they take you the whole arm. That kind of thing. But yeah, let's go. Now we are. Now I was what year? What age? This is like 2008, 2009. So I'm graduating and start to work. I become single, and then I go traveling. Obviously, I meet like amazing experience, amazing woman, and that is a story on its own. And I cannot really go in depth on that now. It's just this is a great song, but that's like yeah, go for your jog, Anna. Absolutely, that's awesome. I can't wait to start running again. I will do it soon. I love go running. It's so nice. You can continue with my episode when you have time. You know. So have a great day. I guess it's like in the afternoon there now. So yeah, enjoy. Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, I'm gonna leave that out when I met that amazing woman when I traveled. That it's a big part of my life because that there are some crazy stories there as well. But I'm going to not get into that here. It's just I feel it's too personal. But another story that comes to mind, I have to think. Oh, this is the big one. This is the big one now. I think. Let me think. Okay, so I'm back in Sweden, start university, and this is like 2014, 15. I think I'm single around. I'm not single, but I no no you know you have to understand one thing. My life with women, it's a bit complicated. There is I have the woman that I met when I traveled. We have a relationship together when I am actually going back and we see each other. I mean, I go to visit with her, she comes to visit with me for many years. So we have to take that in consideration. But that's not the point. The point is the crazy girlfriend experiences now. So let's see. Now I have to think if there's something there. 14, 15, 16. I know I moved to another city in Sweden, 2016, to study in another university where I end up graduating. And yeah, there I start to become extremely lonely. I have an extremely strange experiences with myself, which is also another topic on its own. Um, but then yeah, it's in 2017 I meet this other woman. It's a great experience when I look back at it. You know, I see I moved to this city. I used to start to go to a library, and this is just before school is about to start. So it's sometime in August. Maybe school did start, but I see this woman, and she's just looking in me. She's really looking at me all the time, and I just wonder why she's looking at me that much for. And I have a little eye contact with her as well, and I'm just considering if I should go to her. And but I don't, and I never see her again. And then fast forward 1 year, so the autumn, late summer 2017, I'm in the library again because yeah, I go there a lot, and I see this woman again, and it's really around the same time. And this time I just like, okay, I'm gonna follow her, see where she sit down, and I'm gonna sit down next to her. So I do. We sit down by pretty much the same area where I saw her the first time in the library. And I sit down to her, and she noticed that I sit down to her, and she's just moving her chair like really in an angle, so I can actually approach her. So I do, and yeah, the rest is history from there. We Yeah, she come to me like because she was not living there, she's living in Stockholm. But she came to me maybe that next weekend, and she started to come to me every weekend, and eventually she moved in with me after New Year. So we become a couple, living together. But I'm gonna stop there because this is so strange experience. When I first meet her, she is so forward. She is so attractive, obviously, and everything is great. And I don't know where I should go with this, but everything started. Okay, so first, maybe after 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks, after a very short time, after a very short period of time, she says that she loved me. Like just out like that, just out there. She just no consideration, just throw it out there. And for me, that was kind of like a big thing. I was I felt really confused. I remember I felt very confused because I felt it was, how could you say that like just like that? We are sitting drinking beer in a bar, and it's so early, so soon. But sure, if you feel like that, it's great. Um, Fast forward a little bit more, it's not really any issues yet. Everything is great. I mean, everything is great. I feel so happy with her. So we decide she move in with me, and things just start to change, like very, very immediately, or more or less immediately after she moved in with me. Maybe there was some things before, but I think the main things start to change as she moved in with me. Um, and one of the things that start to change, yeah, I just remember obviously. Okay, so this is the thing. I was studying, and she did not do anything. Obviously, that is not very healthy. But I remember I just come home from school, and she had reorganized everything. Oh, I'm doing this feng shi, to move, reorganize the furnitures and what will not, to make it like more, feel more better energy in the home. Sure, go ahead. But she started to do that like a few times, and it was just a little bit odd, but nothing more with that. And there was some time I just, yeah, because studying, university, you are not in school every day. So some days I had to go to the library, and she was sometimes go with me, but sometimes, yeah, it was not really good idea actually. She come with me, but because she didn't have anything, she was just hanging on to me. I had to focus. But sometimes I come home and she had been home and she just lay in the bed, a completely completely expressionless face, and she was gray. Her face was gray, not like dead, but she's so gray and really scary looking. Like I tried to connect with her, like, hey, what's wrong? What are you? How are you feeling? Da 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 da. All these things. Um, then I start to notice, like more and more. I don't want to forget anything, so I'm gonna take this, like really think through. Maybe we are into the whole. Maybe we're into January now, into January 18th. And I start like to notice you want to change me, like in some ways. She say some things about if I put on a shirt, she say that it's ugly. You should not wear that. It looks ugly. Or and when I talked about things that I want to do, for example, like I was, yeah, she looked like she was very inspired, and then it could change, become very negative towards me. Uh, And the funny thing was that sometimes I felt that I was bothering her. We could watch movie or series together. I remember we were watching Stranger Things, and suddenly she just stand up like this, and like she just switched like that, and her eyes like really sharp, and she, yeah, she just started to, can you lower the volume? Lower the volume, just scream at me, and instead of just like, yeah, put the volume lower, but she just stand up from the couch and just walk into the kitchen and just slam the door. That was one thing I just reacted to really much, and I just let her be in there because I mean, who do that to somebody? I just let her be in the kitchen. I continue watch the series. And yeah, I started to know these anger tanners. What do you say? Anger issues. She could have such a anger. Things got really scary. It's gonna get violent here. Just to prepare you. Not on my side. I'm not a violent person, especially not towards a woman that is behaving mean. I mean, okay, we get into that. Yeah, but yeah, she just, like I said, started to kind of, I felt like I was in her way, and she wanted to change me. Like she told me how she wanted to cut my hair, and I let her do that. Actually, I didn't mind that, but it was strange anyway. It was weird, and things were about to get a whole lot more weird. Especially there was a cat that came to us and living with us actually, and I really didn't like that. You let in somebody else's cat, but well, anyway, we did. But we let her out and we fed it and we were nice to it. And she had a heater, actually. She had a heater and this little electrical heater. And there was one time when we had our argues. I can't remember what it was because it was about such a silly things. But the weird thing about the argues was always the same thing. Okay, so we started to have an argue, and then she started to talk about how I said something in a way which was not true. Okay, so she could make up a story, and then I was trying to know this is what I said, and then she could just like, what, just losing it. No, you are changing the story or something like that. And I don't know if that's what she said. You are changing the story, but she was actually making me hesitate my own sanity. Like she was questioning or changing things about what we were fighting about or what I have said and what I had done, to like question and hesitate on myself. And that was, to be honest, that was really, really creepy. And now afterwards, I know that's a trait with somebody, or that's something called gaslighting, trying to kind of break you down. There was even one time because she started to. Okay, so there's this part also. I noticed that she were actually start talk. She was talking to other people, other guys, and I drove her to her friend also, a girlfriend, and that she stayed with sometime. And I that's fine. I mean, if she had a friend, sure. But there was one day when I just picked her up, and she said, "Can we take an extra tour somewhere? Can we take and stop here somewhere?" And she just said, Tom, I've been reading last night a little bit about a personality disorder, and I think actually you have it, but me too. And she was talking about, I think it was borderline personality type. And she started to talk about, like, if we play our cards right, we can do this well. And I thought that was, when she said that, it meant that we could actually use our skills and our dreams and our aspirations to create a nice life, something like that. But I think she was actually talking about something really weird, something really disgusting. But I remember this feeling it made me inside when she was talking about that. You trying to put a disorder on me. I highly doubt that. Uh, what more? Yeah, but about this other guy, I started to notice. She left her laptop. I could check her message, and I just noticed like how many guys she was riding with. It's insane. Actually, one girl also. I think this girl she was I don't, yeah, probably sexually interested in another woman also. and I didn't know that at the time. But now when I think about it, then there's a whole other part about all these people she wrote with. But she wrote everything from some guy she met when she traveled, how much they were. She talked with me also about him, how connected they were. They've been meeting in another life. She had a contact with some guy from another work she worked with before that was really hitting on her, and she was kind of flirting back with him. She was flirting with an old teacher that was maybe like 40, 45, and she was like, when I met her at 24, I don't know, 24 maybe. Um, there was probably more than that. There was her ex, and about her ex. This girl, I helped her to take her driver license. I test drive with her. I took her to support her when she made her the 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 written test, I don't know what it's called, the written test. And I took her to do the final drive to take the license, and she passed. I even borrow her my car to go home to her ex. And I told her, come on, your ex, he's in the same university like me. If you need something from him, if you, because she wanted to have back some stuff from him, that I told her, why don't you just tell him to bring it to school and you meet him in school? No, that was not a possibility. And I told her one time, no, I don't want you, I don't accept that you are gonna go to home to him. And fair enough, she did. I told, okay, you do whatever you want. And after that, it was never the same, obviously. Uh, yeah, so it's just so disgusting behavior, these girls. This is a sick individual, and I'm gonna get to it. It's gonna be even more. But I really, really, really liked her. I mean, everything was great in the beginning. Um, what else? Yeah, she was this kind of having her own plan. She was talking a lot about following a lot of these YouTube channels about enrich the women. Oh, let's meet. We are one power. She was doing her yoga. Nothing wrong with that, of course not. But she was doing this yoga. She was doing these smoking things. You buy these herbs and smoke it in the room to clean the air. She were this. That was just creepy in the end. And I have to think a little bit. Excuse me. I have to think where we are now. Yeah, but she continued having her like anger tantrum. I think you say anger tantrums. Anger tantrums. Yeah, she had some sick anger tantrums, blaming of me, trying to question, like, that's not what you said, and then losing it. And the sex I mean, sometimes just amazing, to nothing, to only on her terms. And also another weird thing, you're going to bed to each other, especially when you have not lived with each other for so long. You like to hold each other, when it's cold and you go to bed, kiss each other good night. But after a while, she just had this thing that, no, I don't like the skin against skin. How weird isn't that? How sick isn't that? I mean, if that was if that's a thing, you don't like skin rubbing against somebody else's when you're sleeping. Yeah, bad for you. I would not want to be in a relationship like that. But anyway, she just only on her, sex on her terms, and Yeah, what else? There was something more weird there. There's a lot of weird things. I was starting to go, and I did my thing. Sometime I left because I wanted to be alone and think about actually what's going on here with this. I really tried, like, if there's something I can change, I'm willing to talk about it and listen to if there's something can be improved. I just remember one time he just said, Tom, there's a monster in me that you can never win. I remember I just hugged her and I just thought to myself, sure, I started to realize what you are doing here. And that's when things start to become really creepy. She could have in the night just wake up or before bedtime or had an argue or something or whatnot, and just run into the kitchen and just sit there and scream like a little baby, like, how can you just lay there in the bed and not come here to support me and comfort me? What I felt she was trying to do is was trying to really wrap me around her finger and just make me a little bitch. And I realized that as more I did not fall for that, the more crazy she became. Imagine a grown person, a grown woman, for some reason before bed you have an argue, or in the middle of the night she's waking up, running into the kitchen, sit on the floor, screaming, and how can you lay there? She was insane when I think about it. Just tearing down, just fucking losing it, That's she had a fucking screw loose, man. I'm telling you, that's insane. Sick. Yeah, this one time, this I don't think I told you yet. She had this heater, and the cat was home also. And the cat, we were having an argue, and she was just losing it. So she just stand up and was gonna like kick, and she was about to kick the cat, and then she just changed her angle and just kicked the heater, the electric heater, and it was like a big bam, like a big electric bam from this electric heater because it was on, and it just obviously broke. And I was speechless. This woman was, I started to realize she's going nuts. And the more she's like trying to like, oh, you are not supportive of blah blah blah, all this nonsense. I was so supportive. I was doing everything. The more I didn't fall for her little tricks, the more nuts she was. And one night, this is probably sometimes February now. This is like the last try, the last attempt. Okay, so we got some nice tickets for a concert, go out in the town, have a good night with each other. And I don't know if these all things are in chronological order now, but it's about to get really crazy. Uh, yeah, we just go out, have a great time, drinking. It's great in the beginning, and then we go to one bar, and for some reason we just start a fight there again. And I know that she's now like, I don't think I tell her that I know she's texting or writing with a lot of other guys, but I just say that you just, this seems like this. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I say something along the lines of that what you're doing is like not nice, and it seems like you are just in love with love itself. You just want to have that little fun experience in the beginning, and she just walk out on me from the bar. I walk after because it's really cold, and where is she gonna go? She's living with me. So I find her. It's a snowstorm, I remember, and it's so cold and snowstorm, and we just run into a parking house, a parking. building, and we just stand there, talk with each other. And it's just we are locked in because they closed the parking house, and there are some other guys there also, and we are just like a little group of maybe 4 or 5 people locked in there. And these guys, they say, oh, this happened to us before, and I don't know what the heck they are doing there. The security guy is gonna come there, and you're gonna have to pay now, because everybody have to pay because you're locked in here. You have to be out a certain time. And we are like, no way, I'm a student, I don't have money for that. So we run on the top on the parking lot. And it's all hinged in, it's fences around, and it's quite high. And for some reason, we just find a way to climb, go through the snow, and like jump down, or like go on the outside of the fence, like some kind of James Bond now. And it's so cold. I remember the hands and my feet, and it's snow in the shoes. And I had to jump like from the fence down to another top, like to another apartment. Still high. I mean, we are maybe it's like 30, 50 meter high. I don't know, but not as high as I have to jump. Maybe I have to jump 5 meters, not, yeah, 3 meter. I don't know. I jump and slip and hurt myself a little bit, but through there we can go through a door, go through some steps, through another door, and finally find our way out and catch the train home. But yeah, it's just broken anyway. Yeah, I think there are two instances where it's like, yeah, there's one time especially, it's like she's sitting on her little ass in the kitchen, and I trying to like comfort her and try to understand her and like talk with me while we try to figure out. And she's like, she have this face that she is like, her eyes is like you can't connect with her. She's staring, her eyes like, and she's like, had this look on her face, and like, and I think this is the time, or it's the next time she having a knife in her hand. She took knives, my knives that I use for my food, and I'm not sure if it's the time she had that, because, or if it's the next time. But anyway, she's just giving me a big kick, like a big kick, when she's sitting, as I'm sitting also. I'm hinged over, and she's kicking me almost like in my solar plexus, kicking me in right in my stomach, and it hurts really much. And I just like shaking my head to her, like I should have done more when I think about it. Maybe I should have. No, I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say maybe I should have like punch her back. Obviously not, but uh, anyway, this either this time or she had the knife, or the other time. I think it's 2 times she had the knife, but I just slowly take it out. I'll take it off her hand, like, and try to talk her, calm her down, and whatnot. But yeah, she had one several times like that, when she just this face is like switch, like some kind. That's a mental problem she have, and I know that. Of course, I know it then, but maybe then I'm like a little bit naive and think like this. I should have just shoved her ass out. Why did I not do that? So easy to think in retrospect. But yeah, it's another time she's also having a knife, and she's sitting in the shower. Like, I just take it away from her, talk to her very calm, like, try to figure this out, and just take it away from her. And then I take all the knives and go out in my car, put them in my car, and about to drive away, because I'm just like, I can't, I have to. She's fucked up. She's dangerous. She's really fucked up. Mean, hurtful, cheater, maybe, I'm not sure. But like, who do that to another person that trying to like help you and support you and contribute for you? Um, That's just a disgusting person. Obviously, a very, very sick person. And I mean, then there's one day later in March. I mean, that's one day she just walks out. She can't handle it anymore. I'm talking with somebody else. I'm talking with a friend that I had at the time. Unfortunately, not now. I'm not sure. I don't know where she is. Lost connection, I guess. Um, and she's just like, yeah, maybe there's a few times she walk out on me actually, but this time she just walks out, and I talk with her maybe two times after on the phone, and I just told her like, hey, yeah, I wish you good luck. I tried first time we talked on the phone actually. I Yeah, I just like try to understand her more and maybe see if we can figure something out anyway, which is crazy now on my side. It's true that you get more, the more experience you get in relationships, mm, the better, the better you become, and the better you know yourself and what you want and what you not want, what you don't want. So anyway, that's the second time we talk is just like before. I told her I'm gonna go here. I'm moving to another country because that was initially a plan that we had together. But I'm so happy it didn't happen because he would not. Such an unstable person. She talked about all these different. Oh, we should go there. Oh, you should go move there. We should go for a trip there. Or we should do van life. You know, extremely, extremely disoriented or unorganized person that I don't want any near myself anymore. I'm so happy that because that's not a healthy person for me because I'm a very calm person. I need somebody stable and somebody that can take care of itself because I don't want to take care about anybody else unless I'm having a wife and family. But then, yet, still, you gotta, yeah, do your part. Sure, because I also want some spare time and do my stuff, you know. Um, yeah, I mean, I remember on the phone told her, and I just remember the voice, her tone, you know, when she said like, "Oh, I really wish you do well for yourself," or like she was trying to kind of make me feel bad because I said that to her. It was like she know that she don't have anything going for herself. She know actually all the things that I did for her, trying to help and support and contribute for her and for our love for each other and for our safety together, for our life together. But she just tried to pull me down, push me down, even in the phone. I'm not for certain that is the case, but that's certainly what it felt like to me. And I had her on social media, and then I posted something that I was here, and after that she removed me. Can you believe that she even removed me? You know, I have some people that I noticed I had some kind of relationship with. Now I'm speaking like work related, friends, relationship, like that I had on social media. For some reason, they just deleted me. Don't know what I did to offend them, but it's a little bit weird. But whatever, you know, whatever. I mean, anybody can. Like for example, you don't like watching this, so you unsubscribe. Sure, go ahead. It's the same like if there's somebody that I met and this person thought of me for some particular reason and deleted me as a friend on social media. Yeah, go ahead and I don't see you again or whatever. It's strange though. Um, yeah, but anyway, where do we go now? Now I'm in Portugal. So I obviously have a share, a bit, a little share to a little experience or a fair share of craziness to share from here. But I have to, yeah, it's been a little bit strange here also. I mean, I just have to think because, yeah, but the first that comes to mind is actually one that I felt great with. And this is maybe like more than a year into when I'm living here in Lisbon. And I'll just meet this great, cute girl that is, I felt great match with. And, you know, we hook up quite quick. Now in retrospect, maybe it's too quick, but yeah, that's the kind of girl I have met, and that's the kind of girl she is. So anyway, yeah, you know, we maybe it's just for a month, just for a month we date, and I feel like I am start to actually like this girl. You know, I feel like this is somebody that maybe this is gonna be the Portuguese girl that I can maybe become in a relationship with, and. Yeah, you know, then it's. I remember one time she asked me to go out with her, and we meet close to where I lived in a cafe. And she's, I give her that. So she's like quite upfront. She talk about like there's another guy. Of course, there's another guy in the picture. This is some kind of. I should not speak bad about him. I mean, I should. It's tempting from what I've heard because you know, common friends who this guy is. He was a guy working, he German, working in Lisbon before, but he ran out of financial assets, so he had to move home and whatnot. I'm not gonna speak anything what somebody else has said of him because it's not my. I don't know him. Let's say probably a cool dude. But anyway, she just said that this guy I was with before, he's gonna come back, you know, and I just want to let you know that he's gonna come back, and I'm a little bit confused, like blah blah blah, all this stuff. That I get it. She like him because he's gonna come back, and then she cannot do anything further with me. So I'm like, just kiss her goodbye and not really any conversation with her since. I mean, I think, yeah, she invited me actually some months after this for her New Year's Eve party with common friends and her. I'm glad I didn't go. Um, I don't know if that was because you know the thing is, then my friends, my common friends with her come because we have the same common friends. But I'm closer to them than she is, I believe. But they said that yeah, this guy he never ended up coming anyway for whatever reason. And but she had said that she felt kind of bad what she did to me. I think I'm not sure if that's true, but that's also one of those things that like. But of course, I mean, what can I control? If you are more interested in another person, sure, I go on with my life, and that's what I did. But it did feel a little bit, you know, here. But whatever. And after that, it's like now I have to think. Now we are into now pandemic is starting. This is before the pandemic, though, just before, or pretty much before. But yeah, it's pandemic. I'm extremely lonely now for a long period of time. I mean, until now. But I have these experiences from last summer also. Um, I have to think which one I should start with. Yeah, but you know, last summer I started to have more friends and start hang out, like in June. I start to hang out more with and meet people last year. And there's this one girl, Brazilian, connect like great from the very beginning. But then there is these strange things, like we start to talk a little bit long voice messages, and oh, why don't you invite me out, Tom? Oh, she's playing like very cute, and I'm like, wow, she's so nice. Like she's so cute. I want to meet her, and I do. I organize plans, and it doesn't suit her. Uh, and then I wait a little bit. Maybe because I try to call her, and no response. And then maybe a couple of days go, and she is reaching out to me and saying, "Oh, I couldn't, and you can call back. Oh, you don't have to disappear like that." Hello, who is disappearing? I am trying to make a plan after you have been flirtatious with me, asking, "Oh, why don't you invite me out, Tom?" And I text with her, tried to call, make plans, asked her out, no response. So okay, maybe she was not interested. This whole trying to like make me all the time do more, all the time reach out, all the time, try to. These things go on for quite a while, for maybe 1 or 2 weeks. Super strange. I actually talked about this in another video, but yeah. Anyway, uh, one night I'm really drunk with a friend, and she's just calling me, and I'm just super like angry, not angry. I'm just super straightforward, we should say. So okay, I'm like, so what do you want to do? Okay, you are doing this. Excuse me. So you're doing these things. You are like want to meet up, and then you say you have something else, and you saying that I am disappearing, but I'm making the plans, and you are just texting me. Why don't you answer? This ridiculous thing. What do you want from me, actually? Do you want to meet or do you not want to meet? I'm saying like really straightforward, and I believe either I or she hang up, and after that she blocked me. You know, there's just some girls that want to use you for validation, and I'm out of that. I'm not interested in that. It's just I'm not into that at all. But yeah, and then the summer go on. There are some parties, there are some interesting potentials, I should say. But the same thing there, pretty much, more or less, especially with one other Brazilian, actually, to say that. But nothing more. Nothing was even close there, like with the other Brazilian that was saying, make plans and why don't you contact? It's the same there. Nothing. We don't even meet up again. I thought it's at least worth going for coffee or going for a walk and whatnot. But I don't know. Maybe there is something more worth mentioning there. But those stuff is more like they're already crazy from the beginning, and they already want to just see. I don't know what they want to see. They just want to have somebody text them. Is what I feel. I mean, obviously there are also these kind of girlfriends that just want to book a date immediately, book a date, and exactly just that. Uh, and if yeah, sure, go ahead. I just realized some things about me that I'm not well. Then there are this other experience also about just that. I'm kind of a hypocrite now, but I just said earlier in this episode, if some things happen, then it happens. It's you can't really control that. But I know now I'm not going out. I'm not seeking actively for hooking up like that for one time with somebody. It's like no, I'm maybe has to do with age. Some people are really into. I mean, I have friends like one friend that I have. He's like, yeah, I guess that's some kind of problem. You can have problem with that as well. But fair enough. I mean, nothing bad on him because of that, or anybody else for that matter. I just realize what is good for me and what is not good for me. It just personally it just leaves it doesn't give anything in the end. It leaves you with nothing. So I mean that's quite I mean there are probably some other I mean there are a lot of other things I can talk about also. I mean there's a lot of stuff, and when I think about it there's so much that I forgot also. Sometimes it pop up a little memory about some experience or somebody or something that led to something, and something that was close to leading to something, and something half something that led to something halfway, something that led to something all the way, and either good or either not so good, or what an experience. It leaves us with experiences, and we learn from the experiences. And I sure have my fair share of experiences. And yeah, it's another topic, but I feel like a lot of things you put your heart, mind, and soul to, it kind of like interestingly plays out. Maybe not always, and maybe not exactly as you thought, but something little bit about the. I don't like to use that term law of attraction, but something that you can visualize something, and it kind of like plays out a little bit interesting. So yeah, not trying to like control too much, just let it be, let it go, let your life take its turn. This is another topic, by the way, but I think that the 20s can be more, yeah, like that, more experimental. And all the thing about the hookup culture is like, and the dating apps and all that. I feel like I'm drifting away from it. But then on the other hand, like I said, if something happens, like you cannot always control if you meet somebody. It's of course you cannot. But I know real relationship, which persons, which people, and who, and what woman really do matter for me. Like when you had your when you had your experiences and measure that with like some person that actually means something for you, it can't even come close. I'm saying that again, it can't even come close to a person that you really deeply have a connection with, and both like on humor, personality wise, soul like person, and interests, just connection, how you enjoy being, your past, your view on life. There is not many. I mean, if you can meet one person like that in your life, then you're lucky. And I realize like how lucky I am in regards to that. But it's also extremely painful and extremely difficult. But I guess maybe it's worth to sacrifice for that. What do I know? But yeah, that's another topic on its own again. Oh, we're 1 hour and 20 minutes in. Oh, it's so late now. I need to eat something, and I'm gonna have to. I was gonna say I need to work more, but no, I'm gonna watch something. I have to say that for whoever joined or whoever watch it later, thank you very much for for participating in me sharing my experiences and these stories. Maybe I will later regret this and I remove it. I delete this video because it's quite personal. And but yeah, what the heck? This channel is personal. You guys who have followed me for some time, you know that this channel is about INFP with Tom, and it's about personal experiences, daily events, updates on things in my life. But I do still have um, plans, future plans, doing another one. I have already another one, but I have another. I just want to know more about what kind of content that I want to do. Maybe something similar like this, but select a little bit more carefully what I share, because this is here is like I just feel like I can uh, what should I say? Do a lot of random talks on this channel, which is nice because I need it sometimes. Sometimes it's a little bit. I shouldn't say it's exactly like talking to a shrink, but it's somewhat therapeutic. It's somewhat therapeutic in the sense that you can just talk in front of a screen, talk in front of a camera, and let it loose. Because some guys, how extreme amount of time I spend alone and stuck in my head with a lot of different ideas. I mean, I'm jumping from writing ideas to paintings or documentary ideas to YouTube ideas to business ideas to current existing project or business I'm working with to ideas with that um, long-term plans. I'm jumping between so many things. So, and INFP creativity is interesting. I think it's the extrovert intuition. You're thinking possibilities literally everywhere, and it's cool. It's kind of like a gift, I would say, that you can go out in the world here and you can just follow that and ask what ifs, and you will be having a lot of interesting questions and hopefully some answers to, or at least have a lot of ideas and potential ideas for future projects you want to do. Matter of fact, I got an idea for another writing idea today, but I have enough that I need to slow down a little bit and focus on one thing at a time, because that's how you get things done as an INFP. Even as hard as it is, you stick to project by project. Even though I'm not living by that. I mean, for example, when I write music, I jump between different songs. Uh, but when it regards to my project with writing, I'm finishing up now. That is completely. I've invested a lot of time in just doing that, and I will let you know about that in a near future. Um, hopefully by the end of this month. It's reasonable. It should have been earlier, but it's you say that you want to accomplish something by a specific time, and you always said it much sooner than. But in a way, it's good also because you get a lot done what you do like that. If you shorten the deadline, you get a lot of things done quicker. I noticed at least. But yeah, anyway, this is INFP with Tom. Thank you for tuning in this Friday, January 20th, 21st, January 21st, 2022. Now is Free Falling with Tom Petty. It's an amazing song. So, peace out, guys. Free Falling. I hope to see you soon again. Have a great evening.